Hello to you and to all the amazing TEFL teachers out there right now, traveling around the world, teaching English abroad, living their dreams. This is Camden Long, and today we're out here on the beautiful rice farm in Thailand, away from the city, away from the noise and the distractions. We're out here in solitude with nature, and I just want you to know that if you're thinking about teaching English as a foreign language abroad, well, good for you. You're going to have an unforgettable experience. So I got a question yesterday on my Facebook Messenger, and a good friend said, "Hey Camden, how can I live the life that you're living? I really want to teach English in a new country and travel and to see new things." Well, first of all, that's great, because acknowledging that you are ready, acknowledging that you want to do something new with your life is the first step to living your TEFL dream lifestyle. But number one, you have to remember, don't live your life through the lens of another person. Don't try to imitate or duplicate the life of somebody else. Be true to yourself and live your purpose. So, number one that you have to remember is, if you have the discipline and determination to believe in yourself, to not give up on your vision, then yes, the TEFL dream lifestyle can be accomplished. It is for you. But at the same time, a lot of people are scared. They have a lot of anxiety about traveling, going to the airport, flying to a new country, and then, basically moving into a brand new culture, language, climate, environment. And I can understand that, because I was also nervous myself before I went out on my first TEFL experience. But if you want to live your TEFL dream lifestyle, then you've got to learn how to conquer your fear. And how can you conquer your fear? Well, first of all, it starts with how you talk to yourself, the self-talk. And there's three things that you can repeat to yourself on a daily basis: morning, afternoon, before you go to sleep, when you have some free time. And the first one is, I am enough. You don't need anything. All you need to do is to dig deep inside yourself and believe in your purpose and have the ability to actually take that radical action and make radical changes in your daily habits. Remember, I am enough. Number two is, I have the power to create the life of my dreams. You have to believe that you can create a better future, a better life for yourself, filled with unforgettable experiences and opening the door to new possibilities, to new opportunities. And number three is, I have the ability to achieve my dreams. A decade ago, I started practicing these affirmations. I started writing down my goals, started writing down my dreams, just like this, in a simple notebook or a piece of paper or in your journal or diary. And when you write something out, it sends a message to the universe that you are ready to step out of your comfort lifestyle and jump into something brand new. So you've got to have these things going for you. And the more that you do this self-talk, you are going to elevate your levels of self-esteem, self-confidence. And by the way, what is the definition of self-esteem? It's having self-respect, confidence in your abilities, your God-given abilities. And what is the definition of self-confidence, Camden? Well, it's a feeling of trust in your abilities. It's not easy to go from 0 to 100. That's why when you start to apply these simple actions, when you start to write down your goals and take the small actions changing your daily habits, changing your attitude and your behavior, then you can start to experience a different reality. You can start to connect and network with new people in your home country, also in different countries. And you also need to have an outgoing personality, because when you come to a new country, you're going to have to make baby steps to learn the language, to try out new food, to live in a new climate. And of course, when you are going to live in a new country with a different culture, there's going to be a lot of unexpected events that are going to take place in your reality. You need to be ready for it. And that's why adversity and the discipline and determination will help you get there. So write that down on your piece of paper right now. Self-determination, self-discipline. I have the power to create the life of my dreams, and I have the power to achieve my goals in this life. Now, first thing I want you to remember is, if you're watching these YouTube videos on my channel and my message is resonating with you, then you are probably ready to start teaching English as a foreign language abroad. I just finished some TEFL consultations with some wonderful, absolutely amazing people, some wonderful souls. And as I'm talking to the people on these consultations, I'm laying out their future. I'm laying out simple steps and actions that they can take if they're going to move to the new country and start to actually teach children, people of a different culture, of a different nation. It's a wonderful experience, but again, you've got to have an open mind. You can't come to a new place with prejudgments and your previous belief systems. You have to remain open and keep going even when the times get tough. You have to have faith in yourself, and that's why the self-confidence comes when you start to trust yourself and trust the process. Because when you're honest with yourself and you start to take those steps to live a better life, the universe will help you meet the right people at the right time, and the opportunities, the doors will open when you least expect it. But it starts with your mindset, and it starts with your attitude, your daily habits, and your behavior. Next, if you're tired of the same old thing in your hometown or your home country, you're tired of your job, you're tired of the 9 to 5, you're ready to go out and experience something new, then the TEFL lifestyle is probably for you. So as I'm speaking to you in this video, I hope that you're not just listening to my message, but when this video is finished, you go and immediately start to take action on your TEFL dreams. Get your TEFL certification, whether it's online, preferably face-to-face in a classroom in the same country that you have the desire to teach at. Because when you take the TEFL course in a country where you're going to teach at, you already have become familiar with the language, the culture, and the schedule and the holidays and the customs of that particular culture. It will help you out tremendously. So remember that. The next thing is, when you see me out here in a beautiful location like this, my living expenses cut in half. I'm living very self-sustainably at the moment. It didn't all just happen overnight. I remember back in 2008, 2009, over a decade ago, when I was in Orlando, Florida, and I had to take off a year from my university classes at UCF because the out-of-state tuition was super expensive. So I came back down. I was at this old dingy apartment. I didn't even have a laptop. I was on my roommate's laptop, and I had to work 3 part-time jobs. The first one was Kelly Educational Staffing as a substitute teacher, and I was also lifeguarding right next to Universal Studios at this resort, and I did Hollister for about a month or two, and then I had to leave that job because I couldn't take it anymore. The superficiality, the materialism, it's just not for me. So you have to know what you're willing to put up with, what you're willing to do. And if something is not serving your higher self, your higher purpose, well, you've got to make a change. And if you don't, you're going to keep living in this cycle and this reality of, oh, I wish I could do this, and wow, I really want to go travel, and gosh, it's my dream to go teach. Only you can make the difference. Only you can get out and see the world, take the TEFL course, go and visit different schools, try out the job interviews for those schools. You've got to go out and really market yourself. You've got to show up in person. You've got to be properly dressed. You got to be well groomed. You got to have a great appearance. You've got to work on your voice when you're talking to people at these schools for the job interview. I'm just trying to lay out as many things as I can on this video so that way it can equip you with the right tools and the right mindset so that you can also start to live the TEFL dream lifestyle. And on a side note, when I was working those 3 part-time jobs, paying so much money through tolls, the traffic, high living expenses, some rinky-dinky apartment was like $600 a month. So all of my money was going to rent, gas, paying tolls every day, or expensive organic food. And by the end of the month, I had very little money that I could even actually enjoy. So I knew when I'm sitting there in traffic and I'm driving to the shopping mall or I'm driving to the next school to go substitute teach at, I knew that deep down inside of myself, this wasn't it. This was not going to be my future, that something amazing was waiting for me just around the corner. And don't give up on yourself. That's what I kept telling myself. Don't give up on yourself. Never abandon your vision. You've got to keep focused when the whole world is distracted. And what really made the biggest difference is in 2009, when I finished my TEFL certification course, we had this amazing celebration. It was like a TEFL certification graduation party. And when we were doing the salsa dancing and we're having fun and we're walking around San Pedro, San Jose, going to some places in the nightlife, something started to come into my life, and it was the pure joy. It was the happiness. It was being able to connect with new people so quickly. And then I remember the night before I was supposed to leave to go back home to the USA after the 1-month course was finished, I had this life-changing dream. In the dream, at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., I remember specifically teaching in a classroom. And I remember some of the people that we did the last week of my TEFL course, we actually had to teach a few classes. And the students that were in the class, they were also in my dream. And something was telling me that, Camden, you need to stay here in Costa Rica. You need to give this teaching thing a shot. You need to give it all you got. And then all of a sudden I woke up and I was confronted with this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of freedom and anxiety at the same time. And that moment when you have this, when you're split on one side and you just feel this amazing energy, this feeling of freedom like you've never felt before. And then on the other side of that was this like feeling of anxiety, like, oh my gosh, I have a plane ticket. My parents are waiting for me at the airport. A taxi's coming in less than 2 hours. I have so many obligations back home. I've already re-enrolled at UCF. I've already picked my classes for the next semester. But something is pulling me. Something is telling me to stay here in Costa Rica. It's deep inside the soul. Deep inside the soul. So you've also got to be aware and have the confidence to listen to your dreams and to actually follow through with what's going on inside your soul. And I decided to stay in Costa Rica for 5 more additional months. I got a job the same day that I was supposed to go back home. Well, of course, it didn't go over very well with my parents. They were really angry, very disappointed, and it was not an easy moment. It was not an easy day. But at the same time, I had this overwhelming feeling of freedom within myself. I put a polo shirt on, I put some khaki pants on, got my dress shoes on, walked 2 kilometers down to the school where I got my certification. And the guy, Nate, never forget this, the teaching manager, the scheduling and hiring manager, he said, "Hey, Camden, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be on an airplane right now going back home." And I said, "That's right, but something is telling me to stay here. And I will do anything. If you want me to move boxes of books, if you want me to clean the school, if you want me to volunteer teaching some classes, whatever I can do to be here and to stay here in Costa Rica, I'll do it." And then he was pretty impressed. And he also said right after that, "Well, I was supposed to have an interview with a new teacher, but they didn't show up." 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes passed. I came back into the office and he said, "Well, hey, Camden, the person's not coming. Would you like to start teaching here at the school?" And it was like this moment where my heart stopped. It was a huge surprise. And then within 15 minutes, I signed my name on the contract and I started to teach English as a foreign language in Costa Rica for the first time in my life. Now, unfortunately, I ran out of money. The school was not paying the teachers a lot, and the cost of living was quite expensive in Costa Rica compared to other countries. So I ended up going back home early, and I had to, it was a very difficult time because I wanted to stay. I wanted to travel and teach in Peru. I wanted to travel and teach in Argentina, maybe Vietnam. There was all these amazing ideas that I was flooded with because I was connecting with new types of people who were already living their TEFL dreams around the world. And I was absorbing their stories and listening to them. And I wanted to do the same thing. But I made a lot of mistakes, as I've mentioned in the video that I just uploaded, the previous video a few days ago. So be sure to check that out as well. But I had to go back home, and then I had to move back to Orlando, Florida, and to start taking classes at UCF. But in my mind, I never quit. I never abandoned my vision, even though that was 2009, and I didn't get back out until 2015 to live my dream. So it took 6 more years. Some people, 1 month goes by, and they just quit, and they give up on their dream, and they go back to their regular life. It took me 6 years later to get out and to teach English as a foreign language. And now, 4 years later, after I left my home again in Virginia, I'm out here in the beautiful country of Thailand, living my dream, out here on a beautiful piece of property, rice farm right behind me. And that's why I can connect and deliver these messages on a consistent basis. So I'm hoping that everybody out here right now listening to this video, you have the confidence to believe in your dream, to believe in your vision, and at the same time, willing to take that necessary actions to get out here, to teach English abroad, travel to new countries, teach at different schools, and to accomplish your goals, saving money, paying off debt, building a better future. It all can happen. It all can happen, but it starts with you. I want to say thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're interested to do a TEFL consultation, let me know in the comment section, or you can send me a message on Facebook Messenger or DM me on Instagram. And to all the people who have signed up for TEFL consultations, I'm having a wonderful time doing these consultations with you one-to-one on video. It's a great experience for me to give back and to guide people into the right direction that's going to serve their highest purpose. And also, don't forget, the ebook is coming out November 15th this year. If you want to pre-order a copy, let me know in the comment section. If you have any questions, you got to let me know in the comment section. If you have a story that you need to tell, let me know. The more information that you can tell me just here in the comment section, the faster and easier I can give that proper guidance and assistance so you can take the next steps to live your TEFL dream lifestyle. Have a great day. This is Camden Long signing off from Thailand to you wherever you are in this amazing, big, beautiful world. Have a great day.